Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Well, that was impressive. I'm Terry holding your space, and this is Jane the Seeker Tarot. And we've been sitting here talking to you for a few minutes, and I had some technical difficulties and did not hit the live, but I thought I hit it twice, Jane. So anyway, my face is all red now. Sorry about that, everybody.
And we were talking about how we've done that, and
Right? Yeah, we're talking about how we've done that. Hi, Teresa Ford. Great to see you, dear. Oh, Scorpio Mama. Oh, I'm glad you're fine. So thanks for being here. Maruta, I saw your comment that sometimes Terry has a little bit of trouble going live.
and
And I
I
was
thought we were live at the time, and we weren't.
and we were talking, I thought it was a delay or something. Oh, hi, Candy. She says I was wondering what happened. Right? So was I. Yeah, just crazy, crazy, crazy times, crazy, crazy times. Hi, Lauren. Great to see you this morning, dear. And Teresa and Scorpio Mama. Let's see, who else is here today? Karen Johnson and Miss Charlotte. Great to see you. Yeah, I had made a comment earlier and was here. And Emerald Buddha, I saw you on this morning at 9:11. Just coming in. That's an angel number. I love that, Emerald Buddha. It's always great to see you. So, Miss Jane is here today, and I'm so excited to have her because she has so many gifts and so much knowledge and wisdom to partake in. And I always remember what you tell me, Jane, the gifts of wisdom that you impart, and I take it with me because every once in a while something will happen, and I'll think, Jane said that was going to happen. Sure enough. So, yeah, yeah. She gave me some really good advice about going on vacation when I was going to spend time with family and a month away. And you said, just be in the moment, just be there. And that was like a guru. I mean, and as it turned out, because that's what I needed to hear and that's what I needed to remember at that moment to be present.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
important. It's important to be present.
it really is, isn't it? So do you wanna pull a card for everybody to start with, and then we'll, just for the day or for,
Yeah,
the read?
yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Oh, beautiful. So I get, wellness today. So taking care of ourselves, which as empaths, we don't always do, right? Not just taking care of our physical beings, but also our emotional and spirit beings. Um, taking that time for ourselves and giving that love to ourselves.
That's beautiful. Hi, Viviani,
Hi, Viviani. How are you? Yay. Thanks for being here.
and everyone. Sorry. All
Scorpio
right.
Mama.
I got Sanat Kumara, light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear.
Wow. That's beautiful. So I love how that corresponds with wellness and taking care of ourselves and recognizing our inner light,
Yeah, yeah,
our strength, and our sometimes when we need to rest, right? We were just kind of talking about that.
yeah.
So,
And I get this, I get this purple here. So I get really a lot of third eye stuff. It's sort of like saying, really take care, and you're you're receiving a lot of information through your third eye. It almost seems like, rather than your crown, or maybe it's just shining. Light. that's what you're projecting out, I guess.
Yeah. How we interpret things and how we see things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also, oh, go ahead.
No.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, taking some time for ourselves, like sometimes when all this information comes in, or maybe there's a big upgrade going on, or a lot of energy coming through the planet, and we see it and we feel it, and it's just so strong. So, allowing ourselves some time to acclimate that, and when we don't feel that, recognizing that that's us absorbing that and acclimating that into our physical and spiritual beings, so that we don't have to all of a sudden always be in that heightened state. Sometimes we just have to be well
Yeah.
and present.
Yes. And that's so hard sometimes when you're just, sometimes it's hard to not run around like like the sky is falling and everything is, and we got to run around. But, sometimes we don't know that that's happening. So just be in the moment and enjoy this moment.
Speaking of which, Miss Jane, I wanted to ask Jane a few questions about herself because I feel like she's always giving to everyone. So, and when you're done with that, you let me know. We've talked about that. Um, so one of my questions is, when did you first feel spirit, and how did it feel?
Well, I mean, I saw them when I was 3 years old, and I think that I felt spirit on and off for quite a while, and it would scare me because spirit is very, very powerful. And if you don't have the means to process your downloads and all this stuff that you're receiving, it's it's a scary thing. You know what I mean?
Right, right. We're not born with those constructs, those coping skills yet, are we? Yeah.
No, it doesn't seem like it, thinking about it now. But so it was sort of on and off my entire life. But when I the first time and I had, psychic events a lot, a lot. But my first spiritual, I'm going to say my first full blown spiritual experience, because the psychic stuff to me was just psychic stuff. That's all it was. It was like I was psychic. I was weird. I hated it. Didn't like it at all. Take it away, remove it, you know. Um, so my first like spiritual experience, I this was quite crazy to me. I went to the Self Realization Fellowship in Malibu, California, and I went with a friend of mine. And they have a teeny tiny little chapel, and then most everybody sits out on the lawn when you go for a service because it's in Malibu, so it's always sunny. It doesn't matter.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And so one day, my friend and I went there um, when the grounds were open, but it wasn't on a Sunday. And she said, "Let's go into the chapel. I want to pray for my brother." And I said, "Okay." And so we went into the chapel, and I sat there with her. And I had been to church and I had done things and this, that, and the other thing. But so I kind of knew what to do in a church. It wasn't like my first time in a chapel.
Hmm.
Um, so I sat there and I kind of did one of these, because I was more, it's a Buddhist, it's the Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda started this church, the
I love it.
Self-Realization Fellowship.
Yeah, love that place. Love
Yeah.
that.
So I'm sitting there and I'm going like this and I'm doing my thing and I'm sitting next to my friend and I start vibrating and I lifted off of the pew.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, this is really freaky. Um, Stop it now. So boom, stop. Oh, we're scaring you, are we? So sorry. We thought that'd be fun. And I'm like, no, it wasn't like Disneyland. Hand me a balloon and then levitate me.
Oh, wow. Wow. That was
So
powerful.
yeah, and so then every time me and this particular girlfriend of mine, we 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 prayed a lot together and we went to women's circles a lot together.
Mhm.
And we would just automatically sit by each other because we were friends for many years.
Sure.
And every single time I would sit by her, and every once in a while there wouldn't be a seat next to her. Every once in a while we would not sit by each other, so I know this to be true. I would not vibrate, but whenever we were together and we would hold hands and we would pray or whatever, I would always feel that vibration. But if I was away from her, I didn't feel it nearly as strong. So it was really weird. I don't know why she was this crazy conduit for spirit for me. I don't know why. But it was like she was the person that needed to be the switch
Mhm.
for me.
Interesting. Interesting. So, um, that's so interesting to me because I feel like we all have our own, um, personal vibration, right? Our own personal, whatever it is, if it's sacred geometry, whatever it looks like to you, or sound, or feeling. And oh, Maruta says your vibrations were in sync. Yeah, Maruta.
Yeah, we
And
probably. Mhm,
yeah, and that complementary.
mhm,
That's just amazing.
mhm.
Amazing. I love that. Um, so did you have other times when you felt like do you feel like that was astral projection or do you feel like that was the entire physical body?
I felt like it was it to me was an awakening of sorts, saying that to me was when I learned and understood that spirit was energy and that we were all energy. And I knew that this energy could come in and through me and work through me and be with me. And it wasn't scary. That was the other thing. When I was with Laura, oops, I shouldn't hurt. You don't know her anyway. You'll never know her. When I was with her, um, I was never afraid. But and yeah, and she still is in my life in a very small way. Um, the brother that, well, I don't need to say more, but uh, yeah. So that's when I very first felt spirit, and that's when I started going. hey, if I can feel this strong and I can do this, that, and the other thing, that's when I started manifesting stuff.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Then I was like, well, I could manifest this, and boom, I would have it. And I could manifest that. Boom, I would have it, and I would I would want a kitten, I'd really like a kitten. There's 7. Which one would you like?
I love that. So, that reminds me so much that a lot of times did you feel like you were remembering that instead of learning that? Like that was something that was always intrinsic within your soul, that it just came to you? Or did you have to work on that or study?
I don't I don't know. I don't know if I ever really studied anything because I feel kind of pretty um like not so smart. I just know things. I've always just known things. And so I was never one of those people that ever had any doubt and needed to know more. It was like what I received, I believed, and dig further into it.
Wow, that's amazing. So, I feel like so many of us now are remembering, right?
Yeah.
And that's the way it is, that it's coming through. And I also feel like a lot of people that are gifted are being a lot of us have ADD or learning disabilities. Not all of us, but a lot of gifted people. Like Leonardo da Vinci didn't speak till he was what, 5 or 6, and wrote things backwards for years. So, oh, Maruta says a naturally open child, right? Or channel rather.
Yeah.
The open channel. Yeah. Yeah. And I've heard other people say that recently, that the time for teachers is over because now we are all remembering, we are all opening up.
Yeah, and I like that you're using, the verbiage remembering because I hate it when people I don't hate it. I'm so sorry to say that. It's not a hate. I dislike the whole like, oh, we're all waking up. No, we're not waking up. We've been awake. We are now remembering.
Yeah.
We needed to go through everything that we went through to prepare us for our remembering.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because because if we got hit with the remembering all at once, like bam, boom, it's like you wouldn't be able to handle it. You have to like take it in little pieces.
I agree. So that's why sometimes when I see a houseless person or something on the street, and they have that light in their eyes, you never know if they got hit with that right off the bat, because who knows what that could do to you, right? And so many of our kiddos that have autism or other things going on, I think sometimes they're just not made for this planet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I never felt like I was of this world. No, and I was all, like all of so many of us here, every night I'd be out there standing at the staring, I just want to go home. Just wanna go home.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And so many of us have that imposter syndrome too, like we're trying to look like we're getting this or we have this, but in our hearts, as far as everything out here, like the job, the you know mortgage, the school, everything, and the kids, and um, but inside we feel like something's missing, or we don't fit in. We're not really quite there. So yeah, yeah, and Scorpio Mama, right? Um, so
It always blows me away. I remember when I was learning how to read and write, and I was like, wow, this is really cool, man. Did everybody think that, or was like, yeah, then I can communicate? And because I didn't talk. So I figured if I could read and write, I wouldn't have to use this.
oh, interesting, Jane. Like Leonardo. So he didn't talk till he was 6 either.
Yeah, I mean, but it was, I don't, it was I talked a little bit, and sometimes I might have talked too much, but I was extremely shy,
Yeah,
extremely shy. And that's why I didn't talk.
yeah,
And
yeah.
if people came over to our house, I was under the bed.
Oh, wow. So, how are you able to move on from that? Because I think that so many empaths have that, that we don't grow up with those, like I was saying earlier, we don't grow up with those coping skills of the energy and all the sensory issues that are coming in. What do you think helped you with that?
Um, well, I think learning about it has been one of, learning um, that other people feel this way, other people do these things, other people are like me. I think that's what really uh, helped me um, on my journey. I don't know, what was the question.
I
I
love
got
the coping
abducted by
skills.
aliens. I'm sorry.
You did?
I did just now. They just took me away right in the middle of what I was saying. And then they took me and did whatever that was they do and plopped me right back down. And I was like, what was, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting when we come here, isn't it? That we have to learn, but we have that veil up, and we
Mm,
have to learn all these constructs. And when our spirit's not used to all these constructs, it does. We don't always fit in that box, do we? So
really, yeah.
it's interesting to find those things that help us. Marianne says, always painted on my bedroom walls. And
Mm,
Marianne grew up to be a beautiful artist. So
yes, yes.
perfect. Perfect. I love that. So, where do you feel like you are right now, like with spirit? Um, like, because you had so many things going on when you were young, all around you, with things popping up or experiences and sensory issues. So now when spirit comes into you, what does that feel like?
Well, I have to say that before it would be a little overwhelming, and I mean, I could deal with it, but it'd be a little overwhelming. But taking classes in working with your guides, and then feeling where they came in, and then calling them in, and then telling them to go away, and then calling them back in again, and knowing that you have control over them, that you can call them in and then leave, and then I think that was really helped me.
I
You
love
know?
that. Um, yeah. So, and you brought up earlier having a sense of community. like
Mm.
being around like-minded people, finding your soul tribe. So, um, sometimes when they talk about, the people that live in those blue areas, where they live to be 120 or whatever and have that happiness quotient, but that's a huge part of it, isn't it? Is that community, sense of being in the tribe. So,
Yeah, and we've totally lost that here, and that's why I think we needed the P, because it brought us all together.
yeah, I agree, and I feel like, that's kind of what well, not kind of, it is what I found with YouTube, is being able to connect with so many people. That's how I met you and so many people here that, just a beautiful, beautiful space.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Hi, Genealogy Junkie. How are you today? Uh, so, and what do you feel like was the biggest influence for you, Jane, in your path?
It's interesting because I've always been a knower, and I've just had a knowing about me. What I did was I took a little bit from everything. I read a little bit of this, and I took some of Jesus' story and I threw the rest of it away. And then I did the thing with, Buddhism, and I did all of the stuff, and then I threw what I didn't like away. And and I did that with a lot of things until I came to my own understanding of what is. And
Did you guys see that?
did you have an orb?
Yes, and it's a major flash. Okay, go
I
on.
heard the flash. I'm telling you.
Spirit likes that story, Jane. Continue, please.
um, I don't know. It's just like being a knower. It's been a blessing and a hindrance at the same time, because it's there. Teresa saw the flash. I heard it. I heard it snap.
Bam.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I forgot the flash. I forgot. So the spirit. When did I know that I was connected to spirit? Okay, so I was vibrating. I just knew what brought me there. So I I called on ascended masters. I learned a little bit about everything, and then I took what I wanted and I threw the rest away. And I even had a friend of mine. She One time she told me, she goes, Jane, just why don't you just pick a religion and stick with it? And I was like, pick a religion and stick with it? Why would you do that? That'd be like, um, you know, living in the same place your entire life. And, if you could, it's why there's so many places to live. I don't know, so I think it's wonderful for people who can, but um,
Yeah, there's a calmness about it. But I'm with you. I moved around so much in my life and then moved around from religion to religion and sampling.
yeah,
And yeah, and I love what Teresa Ford says. I love it. Jane's personal plate from the spiritual buffet. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And it is also interesting, isn't it? It's speaking of which, what brings you joy?
Um, what brings me joy is really stupidly simple. um, is my family, and being around my family unit,
Mhm.
my little family unit. Yeah. And I really stupid. And the other thing is like, I can see a tree out of every single window of my house. It's like I knew I wanted to live in an area by water, and these little things bring me so much joy, knowing that I have the tools to know when to take a salt bath, or when to power through and connect to spirit, or when, how to receive and how to give.
Peace. Sounds like peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, calm. Um, I think that's so important too, is giving yourself that presence. And it's not easily attained, especially when we're younger, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And yeah, Lauren, and speaking about being grounded, I mean, like, I think when we were younger, we just automatically grounded all the time without realizing we were grounding,
Yeah.
because we were self-soothing, and we were playing in the dirt. So, and we were walking with bare feet. So we were always grounded, and we became these adult things. And now we have to like purposely, in order to, as above, so below, and in order to connect to source spirit, we have to connect to the earth.
Mhm.
Otherwise we can't connect to source. We have to have that conduit, you know.
So what does that look like for you? Do you, is there a ritual that you do daily, or is it
Yeah.
just the way you live?
It's remember that little thing I said when before we started, and
Mhm.
so I say this thing, and I send down my roots, and I drink from the liquid river of knowledge, and I share energy with ancestors and root systems and ley lines and the mycelium network. And it's like a whole computer thing. And then I fill up my body, and then I shoot out, and I connect to source. And I know once I'm connected, I'm grounded and connected, that it's not me anymore. It is source.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd do this for all of us, but I sure would love it if someday you'd write that out, either on a short or in your community page, or a book perhaps, and give us that, because I love that, the way you put all that together. I'm sure it changes every day, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah, it does. I mean, and then there's so much more, because then I connect all the energy, and I lift everybody up, and I push it out, and I bring it into my, blah blah. I do all of that, and
just connecting everybody and being in the universe.
yeah, and I just sprinkle everybody with, healing, da da da. I'm like, fairy dust, and I do what I can to,
Right.
even one person going like this, going, and I lift up all of these people. It's kind of hard work, but oh,
Yeah. I love it that you have sounds that you use too, sound effects. I love sound effects with spirit.
well, because words.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Words are not my first language. I always say that, especially when spirit comes up. And oh, Miss Charlotte says, "Hi, puppy." Yeah, I know. He's always around, isn't he?
He's so
Hi.
cute.
He is a doll. Very protective, and he loves to meditate. But I would love to, if you wanted to schedule a meditation sometime, um, either, I mean, we could link up channels or on your channel. I'd love to be a part of that because that sounds beautiful. Uh,
Okay, I can
and
join us, and then you can take us away.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I'd love that. So, was your family gifted and is your family gifted, your children? And how does that work? Do you have a lineage on the physical planet or is it all from the spirit?
Well, I think that my son, one of my sons, is definitely, um, he was talking to me when he came out when he was little about past lives. And I really wished I wish that I had written it down, but I was just sitting there and I was blown away. And I'm like, listening to him tell me these stories about who he was in this past life, and there was more than one of them. And and this was when he was 1 year old. He started walking and talking at 9 months old.
Whoa.
And at 1 year old, he was talking in paragraphs, and he was in sentences and full of like complete thoughts and telling me all this stuff. And he was telling me about past lives. And then they both were telling me about what it was like when they were inside. And they were kind of mad at me for being born.
Oh, so that's a good topic. Soul contracts.
Mm.
Um, do you feel like this is part of your contract to bring light to other people because you're such a natural at it?
I would assume so. So, I mean, and I will bring that up to my kids too sometimes when they'll be like when they were like, why did you even it was so nice in there, and then we had to struggle and everything, and I was like, you chose it. You chose it.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe in soul contracts, definitely. I don't
Yeah.
know what they're for or anything like that. I'm really a what why the bleep are we here? Sometimes I'm like, why? Why?
Right? One more time, spirit? Really? Again? When we have these effing growth opportunities, I like to call them, and another opportunity presents itself, and you're like, really?
Oh, well, when you get just slammed with those what do I call them? FGOs, the FGOs. Um when you get totally slammed with the FGOs, right? Everybody write that down. That is
I'm writing
that
that
is
down right now.
that is that is the when we say FGO, you know that it means effing growth opportunity. Okay. So when you get an FGO, because there is no growth in comfort. And that's like, I'm so mad about that. Why can't I just be sitting in my recliner and have a bunch of growth?
Right? Just watching some TV and relaxing, looking out the window.
And then go, ooh, bazinga. Wow, quantum physics.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's another thing I think sometimes when we're, young or older or even at this age, sometimes I look back on all the FGOs that I've had, and it can we have shame sometimes associated with that, when actually it's a great opportunity for growth and, changing that, narrative, and that way that our brain works, is so important. So, and realizing that these opportunities, gave us great wisdom.
Yeah. Do you see this comment by Annie Bear? She said
Oh,
she
yes.
attended a heart code meditation. Can you answer her that? Because I'm wondering what I it would seem to me like that might be something that You're so good with things like that.
Oh, thanks. I attended a heart code meditation yesterday with long number codes. I enjoyed it, but what is it? Anyone know? Blessing to Jane for sharing. So, number one, it can be anything that you want it to be. You're a mini creator and you create this reality. But number two, math is the universe, right? The universe is joy, love, and vibration, but it's also energy, and energy has a code. So each one of us has our own individual codes. But then as we receive more light, more um, GOs, FGOs, and more wisdom, more experiences, our code changes. So a lot of times these numbers, you can look at the numbers as energy coming in or DNA, and a DNA upgrade, a light upgrade, a number upgrade, light language. There's so many different ways to describe it. So it's what works for you. I think Annie Bear. That's
Mhm.
my particular take on that.
So
And my
how do you feel about it, Annie Bear? That's what I want to know.
oh,
Do you
yeah.
feel like something that you got something out of it? Or are you wondering, did you get something out of it? Enjoyed it, but what is it? Anyone know? I mean, we could ask the cards too if you don't know.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love that. Let's ask the cards.
Yeah, she said that would explain why it felt so good. Oh, so it did feel
Mm,
good.
I'm glad it felt good. Let's
Yeah.
see here.
Oh, she had a tears release. It felt deep. Wow.
Annie Bear, I'm so glad.
Yeah, it sounds like you healed many lifetimes.
Yeah, and, so one thing that I've been picking up on too, I don't know about you, Jane, but when we look at time and, lifetimes and space and whatnot, we think in a very linear fashion, but now, we know that it's all cyclical, right? It's just a circle. It's always in motion, and that healing now, I think, is starting to come in like that too. Go ahead, Jane, if you're ready.
Um, I get that it was a celebration. You did it, and you should celebrate it. Can we put her comment up?
It's just
There you go. Well, it felt deep. So yeah, it really did, and it was a good release, and it felt good, and you get to really wake up your throat chakra with this too. Do you feel like your throat is has a release? If your throat feels constricted, I would do what's the yam, what is it that is for the throat chakra to
I
open
can't
up?
remember the mantra that goes with it. I've got it written down
Well,
somewhere. Somebody
look
here
at look up the mantra for the throat chakra. But and then because you have the strength, so so you had 3 of cups, so you're celebrating, and then you get the strength. So we have the 3, which is a 3, and the strength, which is an 8. And what do you get if you put 2 3s together? You have an 8. I mean, if you look at it, and then you get the 9 of cups. So it's your heart's desire. It's this heart meditation really healed your heart. I see nothing negative. This was beautiful and wonderful. Yeah, and you get to just speak it and be truthful about it is what I get. What you get.
I looked it up and it says hum, hum.
Um, yeah, it makes sense. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so if you want to open up your heart or your throat chakra, you could chant hum.
Annie Bear, I get fulfillment. So this is how you can fulfill your heart's desire. And that's Lord Ganesh cards. So, um, and he's reading from a scroll. So it's about wisdom, finding your wisdom within. Um, and also look at that tree of life there. So just like Jane was saying earlier about acknowledging those roots and that wisdom in the Sicilium, right?
Yeah, the mycelium
Drink,
network. Yeah,
drinking in that knowledge, drinking in that energy. And then steadfastness, be strong. There's Lord Ganesh riding in on his elephant. And keep moving forward with this because this is what you want. And then sustenance. So this will make your heart grow. This will give you great growth. So it's a
yeah,
beautiful time. And I pulled one last card, manifest. So manifestation. So,
do
you know,
it.
yeah, yeah, definitely do it.
Do it.
That's beautiful. Teresa, I love what you said. I'm sure your higher vibration will help heal all those around you.
Yeah,
And
be prepared for that too. That different vibration and people having to get used to you. But what were you going to say?
oh, I was just going to say exactly. So when you got that higher vibration, like every time you meditate, every time you are around like minded people and grow your energy, and your vibration raises, you raise the vibration of everybody around you, the whoever's checking you out at the grocery store or holding open a door for you or just somebody you walk by, you raise the light of the world. So it's so important.
It's so funny, Terry, when you said someone checking you out at the grocery store. At first, I know what you meant. You meant the checkout person, right?
I did mean the checkout person. When I said that, I wondered if anybody else would pick up on that because I thought, oh, you could take that a few ways. I love it
Yes,
when it's funny. So,
yes.
yeah, for sure. So, does anybody else do this? Lately, I've been trying to be a little braver in public and do things that I wouldn't normally do sometimes, right? And so sometimes I sing at the grocery store. So I'm sure they are checking me out, but not for the reasons that I might want sometimes. Anyway, yeah, that's beautiful. I love
That's
that.
funny.
So,
Yes.
do we want to do some cards then, or
Oh,
how are you
sure.
feeling with the Jane show today? You're such
Oh,
a humble person.
whatever you want. I'm just sitting here, but like I love this little deck. This one's called the where's the box? Where's the oh here's the box. Just because people might ask. The white sage tarot, because
Ooh.
anybody who knows me knows that I love tarot cards that come in a tin. And these ones actually have the chakras um, association. Like the Page of Cups there is yellow, so that would be solar plexus, you know? And I
I
don't
love
know why the Page of Cups is yellow and solar plexus, but I don't know. But it does. It has those on there, and you're supposed to pay attention to that.
and you all know this, but Jane is like just incredibly gifted at cards. So I've been lucky enough to learn some of what I know from her on the tarot, or kind of try to learn. I'm not always good at that, but I also love that you're intuitive with your cards. That you don't just come at it from this is this meaning, and you read the cards. So
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
great.
because yeah, every once in a while, the card I'll pull, and it's the card that every book will tell you that it's supposed to mean. it absolutely will not mean that in the reading that I'm doing. It's like, no.
You have to change them, don't you? Oh, Teresa Ford, you crack me up. Let me see this. My dad and I used to wear big, tall hats and dance in the grocery store. Hats so we could see each other over the shelves. He said they shouldn't have music if they don't want dancing. Oh,
Love that.
Lord. That's great.
What a
What a
great memory.
yeah, yeah. Miss Charlotte says Jane doesn't need cards. Amen to that, Miss Charlotte.
I
Yeah.
don't need those words. I just think they're pretty. Oh, and like, I just got this the other day, and there was no card in it or anything. I don't know who sent it, but somebody sent me the Aquarian tarot, which is a new thing that came in a tin. Maybe I'll break that out, but I haven't slept with it yet. And I don't like to use cards until I've slept with them. You know.
I'm the same. I even slept with my dowsing rods. So I'm lucky that I'm single and put them up for had enough room. I wasn't stabbing anybody with them. Uh, yeah. So what brings you? Oh, we already asked that.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were done with me.
You were done. Okay. Okay.
I thought
Well,
we were done with me. Unless there's
okay.
something really interesting. Do you have another very interesting question?
Well, aren't they all?
Okay.
Oh,
Awesome story.
okay. Yeah, this is a great one. Where are you now?
Oh, I am sitting in this room.
And where what do you feel like you've collected in this lifetime and where are you going with that? As far as wisdom and I mean you have so many different gifts, mediumship and intuitive gifts and wisdom.
Well, I mean, I would hope that I always say when I started my channel, if I could help just one person feel better or hear something that they needed to hear, then I have done my job. So for some reason, when I do all of these readings, I don't get as concerned about if it doesn't make sense to whomever I'm reading for, because in my knowing, I know it's making sense for somebody else. And I'm sorry that the one person has to go, I don't really have a grandfather that was a farmer, but you know what I mean? It may be, but I know that somebody else is like going, oh, I got that. Don't you think so?
100%. I feel like so many times when I sit in the chat or if I'm doing readings that they're meant for I mean somebody else always is picking up on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Scorpio Mama, let's do some personal readings. That sounds
Yeah.
great. Anybody that wants some cards. I love your picture, Scorpio Mama. It's adorable.
Are you
Yeah.
good? Hmm?
Oh, I was just going to say, there's so often that happens, or somebody will get up and tell their story.
Hi,
And
Judy. Mhm.
hi, Judith. How are you?
She wants to know how her Reiki session it will go. That's sort of like a third. I think what we need to do is just read the energy around you, because we don't really know how that'll go because it hasn't really happened yet. You know what I'm saying? Um,
So,
it feels like, let's just see how what the energy is like around you
I
lately.
like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the whole like ethics issue type of thing.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. See, Teresa Ford, she knows. That's why she doesn't always ask a question because she knows it'll get answered. I do the same thing. I just like will sit there and I'll wait for my. And I know I'm going to hear something, and I'll just lay on the bed. I'm going to hear something. Great case.
Do you want to go ahead?
Oh, I haven't even. If you've already pulled your card, why don't you go ahead?
Okay. Okay. So, Scorpio Mama, I pull the books. So, going into the books, going into your probably solar plexus. I don't know if anything's going on there, but then when I say that, I can feel that. Exploring the shadow. So that could even be the base chakra, but working with something, working with your inner knowledge. And then I get more of the same. So the letter. So getting a message. I wouldn't be at all surprised if you don't get a message today when you go within or whenever you're doing that, your energy as it comes up. You're going to get something out of it, and you'll get a big change with that. I get the moon then. So intuition, subconscious again. Subconscious is always there, right? Instinct. So increasing your awareness somehow.
Yeah. And it's very interesting because my first two cards out were twos. So I got the Two of Wands. So that's your energy and their energy working together. Really, if you and it this says the heart chakra. So I don't know exactly what you're having worked on, probably, but I'm seeing a lot of heart healing going on here. And I have the Two of Pentacles. So it's going to bring you into balance. The Two of Pentacles will bring you into balance. You're going to feel a little restricted in what you can say in your throat chakra. So try not to stay in that place of the self uh, binding thing, because you are the high priestess as well. So remember that you are connected to spirit. So as long as you are connected to spirit, your Reiki master is connected to spirit. You make this triad, and it should be good.
Yeah.
I mean, the energy's good. What do you?
Yeah. Energy is really good to do some deep healing. And all my cards had twos on them too. Twos on them
Oh,
too.
really? Isn't that funny?
Reality. Yeah. That's beautiful. Oh, all right. Oh, okay.
Did you star Miss Charlotte?
No, I didn't see that. I missed that. Sorry, Miss Charlotte.
Okay.
Oh, okay, Miss Charlotte. Miss Charlotte wants to know about the energy around you.
Okay.
She would. Thank you. Are you ready or do you want me to go?
Oh, go ahead and go. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. I know you're doing some thinking. You're getting something in, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm getting downloads. So
Kind of figured I didn't want to interrupt. Okay, so Miss Charlotte, I see Soulcraft, which is a huge explosion of energy here for you. So a major download coming in. Also, look at all the beauty in it. So I don't know if you can see that well in the camera, but and wisdom coming in, that beautiful yellow and golden light. So sometimes that wisdom is about forgiveness. When it comes in like that golden heart of Jesus, I always look at, and forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, but also being true to ourselves. So Soulcraft, I love that. Pull a little angel card with that. And that's willingness. So that's funny because that golden chakra of love and being willing to love ourselves, being willing to forgive ourselves, and being willing to accept our love.
That's so interesting because two of my cards, remember I was saying that these cards were like, they had the chakra colors in them, and two of them have yellow.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And I pulled I just decided to pull a major too, because I was just a touch confused. So we got the Knight of Pentacles here. So this is, this is where you had put your energy. This is the root chakra. So you have been really super stable and with your money and just growing your money slowly. And that works for you. And you've had opportunities and you've taken advantage of these opportunities. And people have come at you and you're like, no, I'm going to do this. And you do it that way because this is the Seven of Wands. So you're coming from it from a position of advantage using your solar plexus chakra. So your gut brain, right? Right, Terry?
Yeah, your
And
body.
yeah, and then we get the King of Swords, and look, he's all yellow. So that again is using your cleverness and your authority, and your intuition and your gut brain to move this energy around, because it's the star. It's yeah, you are the star. So remember that you are the star of your life.
I love that because that looks so much like this, doesn't it? It's just this explosion of light.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
color, it's beautiful.
That makes so much sense. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So the energy looks good.
Looks real fine. Let's see. And then we've got hello, Scorpio Sun Tarot. How are you, dear? Nice to see you here. So, I'm sure everybody here goes on Scorpio Sun Tarot channel. He does some great readings, incredible readings. And Melinda's here also with False Teeth Tarot. She's so connected to Mother Earth. She's just got such a great grounding.
Nice.
Yeah. And then let's see. Who else do we have here? I think there's one other one. Can we throw a celebration card for Kevin Lewis? He loves to include others and is really hitting his stride. Annie Bear, he really is, isn't he? He's just functioning on so many different levels. So beautiful. Jane, I think we can, a celebration card. We can celebrate him for sure. I don't know that he wants a card, and I wouldn't want to.
True, and that crosses ethics boundaries.
Yeah. So, Annie Bear, we can. It's probably not a good thing, especially on a channel. So,
but we can celebrate him.
Yeah, we can celebrate him because he's fabulous. He is Mr. Fabulosity.
Yeah, I was watching something with him this morning. Who was he with?
Oh, with Tuta, with JJ.
Oh, yeah. I was watching that.
Yeah, I saw about 2 minutes of it, and then I was like, "Oh, I got to get ready for today." But I'm going to go back and watch it. So
Yeah, it was. I have to go back and watch it as well. I only got to watch a bit of it, but I liked the bit that I watched.
yeah,
It looked like it was going to be very, like a lot of wisdom and knowledge was shared in that session, because she was going to, like, she said she had a message, and she speaks that light language. And so when people say they have a message and they speak that language, well, I want to hear what the message is.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. So I'm like, there's a message. Ooh.
Yeah, JJ has such a gentle spirit too.
She does. She does.
Yeah,
Her and Kevin's energy seemed to really flow well
it
together.
really
So,
does. Really does.
yeah.
Okay, Candy wants to know, hi, what's coming up for me?
What is coming up for you? Everything's coming up.
Roses.
Roses.
I went out to dinner with some girlfriends last night. It was one of my girlfriends. It was her birthday. And there's a piano bar across the street. And this is like a dive, complete dive. And this guy is up there and he is so talented. And everybody in the uh, in the pub gets up and sings. Not everybody, like you have to have some talent to get up there, but I was amazed at how much talent there was and all different ages, all different cultures. It was just really beautiful.
Oh,
But
how fun. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, everybody has such hidden talents, don't they? I love to hear people sing. I'm not a great singer, I'm a dancer.
I almost danced at the last class, but I decided not to.
Oh, you're a good dancer. I've seen some moves. I've seen you um, get out there a little bit.
I'm going to read the energy around Candy using Lenormand.
Ooh.
I'm called. Hope you don't mind. Do you mind, Candy, if it's the Norman?
I think she'll love it either way. She's oh, and genealogy junkie. Hello. Lots of readers here.
Yeah. Tarot your way, Tom. Tarot your way, Tom.
Yeah, tarot your way. So I get the cosmic egg for you, and that is all about rebirth. So you are starting to do something really big here, Candy. The divine feminine. I hold the universe within me. I'm the force of ever expanding love. So, seeing that egg and how that egg is about to hatch and major growth coming within you, but also that's that seed inside you that is growing, the seed of life, perhaps, and that expands into the tree of life, right? So, uh, knowing your divine nature with that. And then I'll pull a little angel card for you, Candy. Oh, well, awakening. Yep, there you go. Big changes.
Okay. If you get, are you, Candy, are you married? You're not married yet, are you?
No, she's not.
Well, you are going to be. You heard it here first, kids. I don't know when it's going to happen. But it's, yeah, the new thing that's coming in. So there's going to be some cloudiness, and then and then this new thing comes in, and I think that you meet them at a party even. or this sometimes denotes the internet, but the garden. So there's like a party. Don't pass up any invitation. And then there's the heart. And then there you are. And then there's the proposal, a ring, a
Wow.
proposal with your best friend.
Oh,
So this person who comes in is really going to be your best friend.
that's beautiful.
So I don't know that these, I don't know what's with these cards, but they keep wanting everybody to get married. But that's what I got for you. It's something's coming up. Terry got it started. Something's coming up.
It is a new awakening, and that could well be it. So, yeah, I I think that you are, and we know Candy from other things. Candy's a Reiki healer and very gifted intuitive, and I can see something big happening. So it's really beautiful.
Shave your legs, Candy. Shave your legs.
I love it. Mary Ann wants to know what's coming up for her next.
What's coming up? All right. Marianne. I'm going to read the energy around you, Mary. You know what's funny? These are having me go to Little Norman's Lenormand for you.
I love all your cards. How many cards do you have sitting out there?
Oh, I just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, just 12.
Oh, just 12 today. I love it. I love it.
I mean,
Miss Charlotte. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll probably just use like this one or 2 or 3. Okay.
Miss Charlotte is giving us beauty tips. No, no, no. Go get laser treatment for your legs, Candy. So.
Oh. Okay. All right. Oh, good. Marianne's open, loves Lenormand. Good. Okay. So I'm going to look around you, Marianne. And you can go first.
Okay. Okay. So I pulled a Divine Feminine card for you, Marianne, and I pulled Kali. So not everyone understands Kali. Kali comes in and she is the Divine Feminine and a super powerful, strong, strong energy. But also she's the Divine Feminine. She's the mother of the universe. So people get a little afraid of her sometimes, but underneath, she is our mom. She's the mother, and she needs that strength, that mama bear strength. And she says, I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. So I think you might have a big, again, another person with a big new beginning. And then I pulled some of Debbie Freebird's cards here, and it says, don't push the river. So don't push it. Be gentle with yourself. Be in the flow. And I know that you're very spiritual and you're an artist. So being in that flow with that. And then this is one of my favorite sayings, always lead with love, especially towards yourself. So being loving to yourself and soft to yourself, even though you are that, boss lady, Kali, find time to be really soft with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what I see is you went through some challenges with somebody who was an authority, but you dust them away, and it was in the like last lunar cycle or in a lunar cycle, and you cut them out, and you're going to be receiving a letter with wisdom in it and an offer, some sort of offer of an opportunity with flowers. I don't know, but it just don't go to anything that's going to make you feel hemmed in. But so like the main thing is like the bear, the authority that kind of got rid of them, cleaned up their mess in the last lunar cycle, or within the next lunar cycle. You need to cut them out because that's right next to you. And then you should be receiving a letter. Look for a letter or an email or a text message, most likely a written letter. So read all of your mail, and see things from a higher perspective and learn about different stuff. It's learning, and it's in that learning that you really find out how to love yourself. So, here's the engagement card. So you really find out how to love yourself. And that brings the biggest gift of all.
Bouquet. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's beautiful.
Surrender. Yeah.
Yeah. That, Marianne, that surrender, I always do an intention. It never starts at the first of the year. Usually it starts around the lunar cycle of uh, whatever that first of the year is. But it's, surrender, I think I had 3 years running, and it's still one of my biggest things that I have to talk to myself about. So,
Love you too.
yeah, you're such a beautiful soul. Um, Lauren says, I love Kali's energy. We females need her powerful form of feminine energy this day and age. Yeah, because we are the divine bosses of the universe, aren't we? It
Yeah.
doesn't, yeah, and it doesn't matter even if we're women, but males too need to find that divine power within them that nourishes and births a new world. So we're all doing this together
Yep. Yep.
and taking it to the streets, right?
Taking it to the street.
Well, this was fun. What a
Fun.
lovely day. What a lovely day. Thank you, Jane, so much for being on.
Thank you. And I hope that with this Thursday we can work it out. And I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. We'll do something.
Oh, good. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to go back to Thursdays on Jane's, I think, or maybe switch it around. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
whatever
We
happens,
do
happens.
whatever we want. We do what we want.
We're the boss ladies. We've got that Cali energy.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, well, hugs all around, right, Marianne? Yeah. So, loved having everybody here. Thank you for being here. And those that are watching this later on, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and definitely subscribe to Jane also. So, have a great day and namaste. Thank you.